YouTube, what's going on, y'all? It is I, TevinElChopo. Friends call me Chop, and we're back with another review. This time we're talking about Freddie Gibbs' latest album, Sold Separately. Freddie Gibbs is a rapper from Gary, Indiana, coming off of his last release, which is Grammy Nominated Alfredo, that came out in 2020 with him and Alchemist, a project that I personally thought should have won the Grammy, in my opinion, over Nas, but what do I know? Now, Freddie has shown that he's one of the more consistent artists in the game, given the run that he's been on these past 5 or 6 years of projects, all of which have showed his lyrical capabilities, his songwriting capabilities, even his abilities to harmonize on songs. But more than anything, just give us that strong, gritty cocaine rap, no matter on what type of beat, what type of flow that he needs to use to get it. Now, it's safe to say that coming into this new album, I was definitely excited. Freddie has been one of my favorite artists for these past few years, just in the consistency, like I said before. But I think that with a lot of the things that have been going on around him, especially with his beef with Benny the Butcher, the situation with him getting jumped out in New York, definitely gave me some question marks about the music that will be coming out after that. Now, since Alfredo, Freddie has definitely dropped singles here and there. So far, they've all been pretty consistent to just the types of things that make Freddie unique as an artist. Like I said, the gritty wordplay, the gritty cocaine raps. But I guess still a part of me wondered if Freddie was capable of coming out with another overall pretty good record. And now that I've heard Sold Separately, I can definitely say that he is more than capable, for sure. So starting off the record, we have Couldn't Be Done featuring Kelly Price. I definitely think this is a great intro to the record. Just him showing that it couldn't have been done, like where he came from and everything that he's been through, that he beat the odds in a sense. And Kelly Price definitely comes in and gives great performance, a great feature. And the beat is just super tough, super hard hitting, but still has that soulful element of the sample that's being used as well, plus the singing of Kelly Price, of course. And overall, it's a pretty good record to start everything off with, definitely. Next, we have Blackest in the Room, produced by Alchemist. Now, with this record, Freddie comes in on a real just suave hotel lobby type beat that also gives us a switch somewhere around the halfway mark. And it's definitely just hard hitting. It's definitely just Freddie in his element, in his bag. Every time him and Alchemist come together and do work, they always cook up some great magic. So it was definitely just a great example of that. Very, very dope record. Very, very dope song. Next, we have Pain and Strife, which features Offset from the Migos. I think that this song is arguably my least favorite overall. I think that it's definitely grown on me, to say the least. I did not like it as much when I first heard it as I do now, but I just think that it's pretty generic in terms of just like the hook. I think Freddie has given us better hooks on this album. I think that the overall sample of just the Bone Thugs and Harmony and everything like that was okay. It wasn't like the craziest thing in the world. Plus, the Offset feature was super lackluster. As much as I've grown to appreciate it now, I definitely think that he used a little too much auto-tune on that one. Like I said, it's definitely my least favorite song on the record, but it's not bad. I can listen to it. I've definitely played it more than my fair share of times, and after a while, it is pretty catchy, I'm not gonna lie. Next, we have Zipper Bags, produced by K Tronada, and I definitely think this might be my favorite joint on the whole album. I definitely enjoy the beat. I very much just enjoy just Freddie's, just raps always. Freddie is never a slacker when it comes to rapping, and it's just definitely a great harmony between the two. And I really much enjoy just even his capabilities of trying to harmonize on the beat and everything as well. Super enjoyable record. I really liked it a lot. And then the song after that is Too Much featuring Moneybagg Yo. Another song that kind of fits closer to the realm of Pain and Strife, as kind of feeling a little contrived in a sense. And it's one of the main singles off the album, one of the first singles to come out. It definitely grown on me as well, more than when I first heard it as a single. I definitely, now hearing it within the context of the album, I definitely enjoyed it a lot more. I definitely think that Moneybagg's feature is pretty solid overall. I think I've heard Freddie do better, but I think that this is a nice pocket. It's right on that line of being trendy, which Freddie is fully capable of being, but it's right also where Freddie is in his element, being able to just give his perspective on, being with women and just being too much overall as a person, quote unquote. And overall, it's a solid record. I like it. Next, you have Lobster Omelet, which features Rick Ross. I think that the tempo definitely switches on this record. I really enjoy just the overall instrumentation on it, just the perspective of Rick Ross and his feature as well. You know, I think I've garnered a lot more respect of Rick Ross's music, especially since I been to his house recently. If you don't know anything about that, make sure you follow me on Instagram at TevinElChopo. But yes, it's overall a pretty solid song. I really enjoyed just Freddie and Rick Ross's collaborations, and I definitely think that they should do some more to come. Definitely. The next one we have is Space Rabbit, another really dope song, really dope just in terms of just Freddie talking about dope, talking about cocaine, dope fiends, things like that. You know, just the typical stuff that Freddie comes off across. And you know, the beat is really enjoyable as well. Definitely really enjoyed this song. Then we have Feel No Pain featuring Anderson .Paak and Raekwon of the Wu-Tang Clan. Now, I definitely think this is another song that I find really enjoyable. I think Anderson .Paak does a great job not only being on the song as a feature, but also with the instrumental as well. And I definitely think that Raekwon's feature towards the end of the joint is definitely a nice touch. Like, just hearing Raekwon just feels so natural in this type of element, especially with Freddie. So it's definitely a dope collaboration to see on the album. Rabbit Vision, another song that I really enjoyed. I really like the beat on this one. I think that it definitely accents the tone of just a lot of the things that Freddie is talking about with in terms of his relationships with people, and just, you know, the friendships that he's lost along the way, his beef with Jeezy, things of that nature. A lot of that really coming across really wonderfully with this really nice, impactful beat. And I really enjoyed this one as well. And this song then leads into PYS featuring DJ Paul. PYS standing for Pimp Your Slut. Definitely a great homage to 3 6 Mafia, with DJ Paul also providing the instrumental on top of being a feature. DJ Paul comes in pretty great with his feature as well, just giving you that 3 6 Mafia energy that you always need. And Freddie, of course, being Freddie, isn't a slouch here either. It's definitely one of my favorite joints on the album. Dark Hearted comes in after this, another record that I really enjoyed, just a really dark tempo of the beat, the dark energy all around it. And it definitely just shows that, you know, Freddie is trying to be prepared for anything and everything. You know, you can definitely feel the energy of this song, especially given a lot of the things he's been going through in his real life, just with the jumping and stuff like that. And it's definitely just a dope record, dope perspective record. Then you have Gold Rings with him and Pusha T, another really solid record, another solid collaboration from Freddie and Pusha T together. I really like just the beat on here. I like anytime Freddie and Pusha come together. Even when they're apart, they're fire, but when they're together, it's just next level. So it was definitely enjoyable song, which also leads into Grandma's Stove, which is another song that is really introspective about just Freddie's life, how he feels about himself, and a lot of the things that he's dealt with and been through in his personal life and his family life that has brought him here. And a lot of just how he feels when he's not, I guess, not putting on the tough guy persona, you know, showing that he has depressive tendencies and stuff like that. Is really dope introspective record to have. Then we have CIA, which stands for Crack, Instagram, and AIDS. It's also a really enjoyable record, really enjoyable just seeing Freddie's perspective on just what the government has done to us and the types of things that the system's influences have made him into who he is today. Really dope cut. And then lastly, you have Decoded, a really solid way to end the album overall with a feature with Scarface. Scarface definitely comes in on the second half of the song and gives a great perspective on just a lot of the things that are going on. The beat is real simplistic, but it definitely has a nice impact to it. And Freddie, of course, being Freddie, handles his business every time. So overall, I really enjoyed this record, man. I really liked it a lot. I definitely think that Freddie has shown his versatility on this album of just all the types of things that he's been able to do. A lot of the same things that he's been doing throughout the years, but I think with this album, it's a lot more cohesive in terms of just the sequencing of the songs. And I also think that it's a lot more polished than it's been in a while, especially in terms of the more trendier cuts of, you know, the things that, you know, are more radio friendly. I think that those records are definitely a lot more, you know, closer to Freddie, but also appealing to his outside audience than it's ever been before. Now, I didn't talk too much about any of the interludes or anything like that. And that's mainly because honestly, I think that's probably my least favorite part of the album overall. The album is definitely feels like a homage to the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, where Freddie is essentially taking a trip in Vegas in a Vegas hotel, and people are trying to reach out to him via voicemail with a variety of celebrities, people in his life, stuff like that. Now, while I think that the theme of the album overall fits a lot of the music itself, and I do appreciate how the interludes tie into that as well, I definitely think that some of them lag, especially the one at the end of Space Rabbit. I definitely think that that one is way too long, and I just don't find it enjoyable, especially on re-listens. Like, it's fine when you hear it once or twice, but when you replay the album over and over, then it kind of lags. Luckily, most of them aren't on long enough for me to care, so it's not too big of an issue, but I still found it to be an issue nonetheless. But overall, this album has been really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I think that the sequencing, the tone of the record overall, a lot of the different types of styles, and like I said, the versatility of Freddie throughout the album shines a lot brighter than my handful of gripes that I had with it. So if I had to give it a rating, I would easily give it a 5 out of 5. Now, album of the year, man, album of the year is getting harder and harder the more I gotta think about it, because between Freddie, Jid, and Kendrick, they all got 5 out of 5s out of me. So I don't know who I would pick, but definitely a dope record from Freddie Gibbs nonetheless. I don't know how I would compare it to the rest of his discography as of yet. I think that I need to sit on it a little bit longer, but for right now, it's definitely a really enjoyable record, one of the best records to come out this year. Do I wish that it brought more attention to what's going on with him and Benny the Butcher? I do, because I definitely think that's something that I want resolved, because they are collaborators that I also want to see come back together. Him, not just him and Benny, but him and Griselda overall. So I just want to see that get 100% resolved and situated so they can come back together and make more music. And I just want Freddie, and all these rappers to stay safe out here more than anything. I think a lot of beef and a lot of these altercations is just we're losing too many lives from it. So just keep the peace out here, and hopefully we can get some great music like we've been. But hey, these are just my opinions. What did you think about Freddie Gibbs' album, Sold Separately? Did you like it? You disliked it? Let me know in the comments for sure. Also, don't forget to like this video up and subscribe to the channel for more content. Hit the bell notification as well. My name is TevinElChopo. Friends call me Chop. And I'm gonna get out of here. Peace out. Y'all take it easy.